let's keep talking about creative shooting techniques. Now, I've talked a lot about the 5-shot method in a number of videos, but there are other schools of thought, and one of those schools is the WALLDO method. Now, the WALLDO in WALLDO method has nothing to do with anyone named Waldo. It's actually an acronym for the shots you're going to need to capture in order to narratively tell a story using this method. So what are those shots? Well, let's take a look. And actually, before we take a look, I've got to apologize. These are all rotated because they were shot on my cell phone for a YouTube short. So it's going to be a little different, but it still applies. The first shot you're going to need is a wide shot, because just like any other story, we need to establish where we are. The next shot you're going to need is an angled shot. Now, the angle here can be either the camera position in reference to your subject or focus point, or the camera itself can actually be askew. That gets a little harder to justify, but you can play with it and see what you can do. The next shot you're going to need is a level shot. Now, the level here can be either low or high, but most people go low, myself included, usually. The next L, there's 2 L's, is a linking shot. Now, this can be a rack focus or it can be a camera pan. It's basically just the camera guiding us through our shifting focus so that we know where we're supposed to be looking from some cue other than just necessarily a hard cut. The D in WALLDO stands for depth. How do we establish depth? Well, in a room like this, it's kind of hard, actually. But out in the field, it's really, really easy. Just shoot through something. It can be a fence, it can be leaves, flowers, really anything works. You're just trying to establish that there are layers to your image. And then the last thing you're going to need is an opposite shot. Now, in an opposite shot, the perspective of the camera does a full 180. This can be established by doing a POV shot or by getting a shot from the perspective of an object your character is interacting with, but it is a full 180 in perspective, and it's really visually interesting, right? Once you've got these 6 shots, is that all you're going to need to tell your story? No, definitely not. Are you guaranteedly going to actually use all of your WALLDO shots in your final edit? Also, no. The point here is to start thinking visually and narratively, right? Here, let's take a look at the clips we've seen so far in their actual completed context.
It's about time! It's about time.
Now, looking at that, I didn't actually use my lowest level shot, right? I also combined my low and my angled shot, but we do pick right back up with linking that follow there, that pan. We then have 2 depth shots, an opposite shot, and another depth shot. The point to all of this is not to shoot for shooting's sake. The point is to think about it visually, narratively. What are the shots that I need to tell this story? By following the WALLDO method, you give yourself a variety of options that you can then play with and put together to tell your story, and that's the point. So go practice, keep shooting.